All right, so today we will begin with the 23rd verse, 23rd to 28th verses, and we'll finish with the 8th chapter today. It is this subsection is entitled Supremacy of Pure Bhakti in Attaining Krishna. And let's look at the verse number 8.23. So there's a link, path taken by the yogis, jnanis, and karmis. So path to perfection in spiritual life, and let's see what paths they take. Krishna describes different times of death. So 8.23, Yatra kale tvanavrittim avitrim chaiva yoginaha prayatakyan yanti tam kalam vakshami bharatarshava. So somebody unmute and read the translation, please.
O best of the Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which, passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not come back. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so Yatra Kale Twinavrittim. What is the time in which Yatra Kale? What is the time in which one will not come back? Anavrittim is not coming back. Avrittim will come back. So what is the time when a person leaves this body and he will not come back? Avrittim Chaiva Yogina. Yogis will come back. Prayatayanti tam kalam, departing from this world at that time. At that time when they're leaving their body, Vakshami Bharatarshapa, I shall describe to you now. Hare Krishna, kindly mute yourself. So different times of death and what is the destination that a person or a yogi reaches when he leaves at that particular time. So Krishna is describing that. What we'll understand here with the little example is, for example, I am in Mumbai and I want to go to my friend's house, which is in one of the, small street in Mumbai, but I have the map of New Delhi. So even if I have a map, it will not take me to my destination, right? Because it is an incorrect map. For me, it is incorrect. Although for Mumbai it is correct, for me it is incorrect. Or even if I have a correct map, but it is not appropriate. This is also a map where you can see the rivers and plateaus and hills, whatever, all those are named, some bay, but it is not appropriate for me. So a map with which what gives me help in reaching my destination should be appropriate and should be also correct for me. Similarly, in medication also, when a person is sick, there can be allopathic medicine, you can go through, naturopathy, you can go through Ayurveda, homeopathy. All these are also different directions and they do help people in various ways. But for me, whatever is working well for me at the stage where I am is what I need to take for getting myself free from the medicine. There are various energy fields around us. These are due to the vibrations. We have a certain vibration. Everybody has vibration. Like I'm moving my hand like this, the wind moves and it creates ripples. So there's this aura also around us. So what we're getting to is, and this is halo, you can also see halo around a person, right? Or aura. So these are different directions. Here we see, for example, in this room, I want to reach that upper corner of the room diagonally. So what do I have to do? I cannot fly straight up there, which is the fastest and the closest way I can reach. I have to walk all the way, maybe crawl up or get a ladder and go up. So for me, this is the way I'll go. But for a mosquito, it can just fly and reach that place in no time. So everybody has a different kind of vibration, a different kind of place where they're starting from. So depending on that, they could be in Karma Yoga, they could be in Jnana Yoga, they could be in Ashtanga Yoga, or in Bhakti Yoga. So whichever field they are in, they choose that, and that is the perfection in which they reach their destination. Accordingly, their destination is also different. But Krishna does tell us which path to take. He does, from his side, from his opinion, he suggests which is the best. In the 6th chapter, last verse, who remembers 6.47? Of all the yogis, who is the most dearest or intimately united with me in yoga? Who remembers the verse 6.47? I'll give you a hint, or I'll begin with the
सर्वेषां
Madgatena
श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां समे युक्ततमो मतः.
So yeah, of all the yogis, that yogi he's intimately united with me in yoga is my devotee who's always thinking of me within his heart. He has complete faith in me. He's surrendering to me. So that kind of yogi. All right, so these are siddhis in the path of Ashtanga Yoga. Whenever a person is on that path towards self-realization, these are the various siddhis he can achieve: Anima Siddhi, Lagima Siddhi, Prapti, Mahima, Ishita, Vashita, Prakamya, and Kama Vashyati. And all those have meanings also. Anima is becoming small, like a small little particle. Lighter than a soft feather is Lagima. Prapti is they do not have to get anything and everything anywhere and everywhere. So they do not have to go to a particular place to. For example, I am in front of this yogi who has this Prapti Siddhi, and I ask him, he's asking me, what do you want? And I say, okay, I want an apple from Kashmir. Without leaving his place, he can just close his eyes, travel with the speed of the mind, and get the apple. He'll open his hands, and it's not magic. He can truly do it. Then there is Mahima Siddhi, to become heavier than the heaviest. Then Ishita, to act freely, even to create something wonderful or to annihilate anything at will. To control all material elements is Vashita, to possess such power as will never be frustrated in any desire, Prakamya. And then Kama Vashyati is to assume any shape or form one may even whimsically desire. Amazing, isn't it? And people do get bewildered once they reach this stage in Ashtanga Yoga, between dharana, between dhyan and samadhi. They get these siddhis, and then they get distracted from their path of self-realization, where they want to reach, any planet, wherever they want to go, any Vaikuntha planets, or even Golok Vrindavan, if they can think of Krishna all the time within themselves. But they get diverted, and they get bewildered by all these siddhis. Now they think, people start worshipping them, and they think they themselves are God. Like that, they get distracted. Let's read from the purport what Prabhupada says. Devotees totally dependent on Krishna, unalloyed devotees totally surrendered, don't care when they leave their body or by what method. They leave everything in Krishna's hands, so easily and happily they return back to Godhead. Yogis are dependent on other circumstances. Karma yogis, Jnana yogis, and Hatha yogis must leave the body at a suitable time to be assured of no return. Perfect yogi can select the time and situation for leaving this material world, but if he is not so expert, his success depends on his accidentally passing away at a certain suitable time. So if a yogi is not so expert, he is depending on luck, that incidentally or accidentally I'll leave at an auspicious time. So all of these yogis, they are dependent on a suitable time to leave their body, whereas a devotee, it doesn't really matter, and they don't really also care. because they are totally dependent on Krishna, whatever he desires. Okay, we just spoke about this. And this is the same thing. If the yogi is perfect, he can select time. Okay, it's also same thing. Okay, next verse. So Krishna starts by telling how I will tell you about the different times when a yogi leaves this material world. He will come back or he will not come back. So let's hear from Krishna. What are these times where a yogi will not come back? So that's the first one, 8.24. Agnir Jyotiraha. If you're not muted, kindly mute yourself. Agnir Jyotir Aha Aha Shuklaha Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vidojana. Somebody can read the translation, please.
Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery God in the light at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. Hare
Okay,
Krishna.
so now Krishna is describing two ways of leaving this material body, or two times at which yogis leave the body. So let's look at this verse. Agnir Jyotir Aha Shukla. So fire, Agni is fire. Fire, Jyoti is light, Aha Shukla, and white fortnight, which is the phases of the moon, correct? Shan Masa Uttarayana. We know that from the point of view from Earth, Uttarayana is the first 6 months where the sun, depending on the way the Earth's angular tilt is, it's about 23.5 degrees. I've heard that in a class. The relative position of the moon and the relative position of the sun. So there is Uttarayan and Dakshinayan. The sun appears to be moving. The whole celestial arrangement seems to be moving north or south. So where the sun passes in the northern side, it's called Uttarayan. When the sun passes in the southern direction, it's Dakshinayan. So Tatra Prayata Gachanti. If one goes away in that period, which period in this verse? In the Uttarayan period, in the fiery time or the time of light, or where it is waxing moon and Uttarayan time. 4 things Krishna has told us. If one goes in that period, Brahma Vidojana, that person attains Brahma, absolute. So, Prabhupada, let's see his translation once more. Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from this world during the influence of the fiery God in the light. That means in the daytime, auspicious moment in the day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. So this is way of leaving the body, which is the path of light. At an auspicious moment in the light and fire by the influence of the sun god or fire god during the day in the Shukla Paksha, which is the fortnight of the waxing moon, where it is going up and up and up, and then it will reach full moon. In Uttarayan, 6 months when the sun travels to north. So who are the candidates? Gyanis and Ashtanga yogis, and their destination is Brahma Jyoti or liberation. It's very interesting how if you're on a train station, there's always this, what do you call this person who guides railway? There's a
TC.
person,
Ticket
TC?
checker.
Ticket
TC.
checker, yeah, he checks the tickets. He also guides people. Okay, you have a connecting train. This is the train you will reach. You have to take or go to this particular platform. So he guides people in a certain direction. Similarly, there are demigods who guide these Gyanis and Ashtanga yogis. Jnana Yogis and Ashtanga Yogis towards their destination. So those souls who have been through their lifetime have been practicing Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga in a proper, perfect manner within their, scope of or path of towards perfection. They've been following rigidly and perfectly. After they leave their body in the daytime, Shukla Paksha, influence of the fiery god, which is sun god, and then in Uttarayan. Then what happens? Their soul is guided by these demigods towards Brahmajyoti. So they don't know where to go, and there are demigods like TC, right? Ticket checker or person who will direct. They direct the path towards liberation for them. Okay, so presiding deities make arrangements for the passage of the soul, influence of the fiery god in the light, auspicious moment in the day during the fortnight of waxing moon, and during the first 6 months. For the devotee, no fear of returning, whether he leaves the body at an auspicious or inauspicious moment by accident or arrangement. If one leaves the body at the time is designated above, so these 5 things that Krishna has said, it is possible for him to attain the impersonal Brahmajyoti. Mystics who are advanced in yoga practice can arrange the time and place to leave the body. You must have seen that picture in the Bhagavad Gita where the yogi, Ashtanga yogi, is leaving his body and going to the planet that he is wanting to go to. Right? This one. That's Ashtanga yogi. Yeah, let's keep going. Conditions don't matter for the pure devotee. They go back to Godhead, whether they leave at an auspicious or inauspicious moment by accident or arrangement. Conditions matter for the jnanis and yogis. So spiritual purity, you may practice any number of yogas and pursue any path, but spiritual purity is the utmost importance. You must be pure and bright as the sun to attain the Supreme, who is supremely bright. You must be filled with light and unconditionally radiate it to remove darkness wherever you are. Only then you are qualified to reach the effulgent world. A self-realized yogi symbolizes all the qualities and the auspicious nature of the sun. He is the same as the sun with regard to the spiritual purity or sattva. He is in sattva guna. The heat of his austerity, tapa, and the brilliant stages of his mind and body. Just as the sun, he represents brilliance and purity of all the factors which are associated with the white path, namely fire, light, daytime, and the bright fortnight. He is as effulgent as the sun when it is the brightest during the summer or when it is located in the northern hemisphere. Right. Prabhupada says, at the time of death, the jiva is set forth on the path to a new life. This verse describes the path of return taken by the karmi. So before this, 8.24 was the path taken by? Quickly, you can unmute and tell us.
Yogi.
Yeah, yogi. Which yogi?
Ashtanga Yogi.
And?
Jnana Yogi.
Jnana Yogi.
Perfect. Ashtanga yogi and Jnana yogi. I don't know where these red lines are appearing from. Just give me 1 second. They're not going away. I don't know what happened. Right. We'll keep going.
Yes,
You
Mataji.
can also see these red lines on the screen.
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji,
Yeah, yeah,
Strange.
that
yeah.
drawing,
Exactly.
there are on the top you would see, those pencils.
Uh-huh.
Click on just go to that screen.
Okay, hold on. In
Yeah.
the draw, right? So sorry.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
Mataji.
yeah.
I wanted to say
Draw
one
with
thing,
touch.
Mataji.
Draw with touch is what you had done. So just click somewhere outside.
Outside.
Do you want to remove them or you just don't
No, I
want
want
those
to
coming
remove
back?
them. They're so.
You could use the eraser tool, maybe.
Eraser.
I tried
you can try.
eraser. See, it's not working.
ನಮ್ಮ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅದಲ್ಲ.
Okay, we'll just
It's
ignore
okay, Mataji.
this.
Sometimes
Yeah.
things get stuck. We're fine. It's not very
Yeah.
distracting.
Okay, so the next verse, Krishna is describing the path.
Mataji.
Previous verse was the path taken by Jnana Yogis and
Yes,
Ashtanga
Mataji.
Yogis.
Mataji, I wanted to say
Kindly
one
mute
thing.
yourself. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I wanted to say one thing.
Yes, yes, please go ahead.
Bhishma Dev is leaving his body in Uttarayan.
Uttarayan, yes, but because he's a devotee, actually he was waiting for Krishna to appear in front of him, so he could
Yes.
leave his body at that time. Yes, thank you for bringing that
And
point.
Krishna came with this 5 Pandavas. Intentionally he came. He
Yes.
told Yudhishthira, I cannot answer you. This Bhishma Dev will answer you. So he took all of them, and Bhishma Dev is
Yudhishthir
asking.
will answer,
First,
sorry,
Bhishma-
right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yudhishthir was asking, and Bhishma Dev will answer you, and he brought him in front of. He
No,
brought the
Krishna told
Pandavas
him.
in.
Yudhishthira was asking so many doubts with the Lord Krishna. So Krishna told, I will take to you this Bhishma Dev,
Yes.
as if he doesn't know anything. And he
Yes,
took,
yes.
and they were talking, and Bhishma Dev was asking, where is he? He means big E, Lord Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so we can look at the next verse, 8.25. So open in my Bhagavad Gita, just give me 1 second. धूमोरात्रिस्तथा कृष्णाः कृत्स्नाः षण्मासा दक्षिणायनम् तत्र चन्द्रामसं ज्योतिर्योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते. Somebody read the translation.
The mystic who passes away from his world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet, but again comes back.
Perfect. So, Dhumo, let's go back to the verse. Dhumo Ratris Tatha Krishna, which is smoke. Dhumo is smoke, Ratris is night, and Tatha Krishna is the fortnight of the dark moon. So, it's the waning moon. Shanmasa Dakshinayanam, the 6 months when the sun passes in the southern side. Tatra Chandramasam Jyotir, there the moon planet or the light Jyoti, Yogi Prapya Nivartate, the mystic achieving that comes back. Nivartate, he will come back. So the mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of waning moon, the 6 months when the sun passes to the south reaches the moon planet, but again he comes back. Moon planet here is indicating Swargaloka. So the karmi or karma yogi who has been practicing perfectly in his particular path of karma where he is nishkama karma, he's doing activities, for example, charity, building temples and building, not temples, maybe hospitals and schools, giving water and food to places where people don't have, like that. He's doing a lot of pious deeds. What will happen to him? He will go to Swarga and then come back. So way of leaving the body is path of darkness. Although it is darkness, but it is not without any fruit. He attains fruit of going to Swarga. In darkness, during smoke, Krishna Paksha, fortnight of the waning moon in Dakshinayana. 6 months when the sun travels to south, candidates are the karmis. Destination is heaven or rebirth, part 2, path of return. So this is going to heaven and then coming back. Eligibility 1, expert in fruitive acts, sacrificial methods, attain moon planet. Life duration is 10,000 years, demigod calculation, engagement is somaras and other pleasures. Fate is when credits finished, one returns to earth. Okay. All right, you can read all these notes. Well, I'll read a little bit. The householder who performs sacrifices, social work, and charities go to the deity of smoke. From there, they go to deity of night, the deity of waning fortnight, the 6 months leading to winter solstice. But do not reach the deity of the year. From the winter solstice, I don't know what that means actually, deity, they go to the Pitta Loka. And from there to ether, from ether to the deity of the moon, King Soma. Having exhausted their punyas there, then they return to earth on the path, attaining the planet moon by performing of kamya karmas. So through the path, protected by 8 devatas, carrying out the order of the Lord, deities of smoke night, waning fortnight, winter solstice, year, pitra loka, ether and moon. So all these are deities or devatas who are carrying on the order of the Lord. So after enjoyment over there, then they return to earth. So they are also directed by all of these devatas towards heavenly planets, and then they come back. Prabhupada says those who are expert in fruitive activities and sacrificial method on earth attain to the moon at death. Oh, that's the same notes here. The Bhagavad Gita describes many yogis but puts the onus of attaining liberation upon 2 fundamental factors, namely self-effort and divine intervention. The divine intervention also depends upon our self-effort only. God intervenes in your liberation only when you do your part in resolving your karma through various transformational yogas and surrender to Him completely and unconditionally in pure devotion. Thus, whether you practice karma sannyas yoga or jnana yoga or buddhi yoga or bhakti yoga, self-effort and selfless effort come first. To attain liberation, one must engage in actions without desires, cultivating detachment, devotion, purity, etc. There is a need to cultivate the predominance of sattva, which is goodness, which lead to the predominance of divine qualities and the righteous conduct, which are essential to attain liberation. So self-effort is very important. Link, Lord summarizes the 2 parts. Let's look at 8.26. Open my book also. Shukla Krishne gati yete jagata shashvate mate ekaya yatyana vrittim anayaya vartate punah. Somebody can read.
According to Vedic opinion, there are 2 ways of passing from this world, one in light and one in the darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back, but when one passes in darkness, he returns. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. So Krishna has now summarized the previous 2 verses, 24th and 25th. Shukla Krishna gati yete. There are 2 ways of passing, one in the light and one in the darkness. Jagata shashvate mate. In this material world, in the opinion of in the Vedas, shashvate mate. Ekaya yati anavrittim, by which if one goes, he does not return, anavrittim. Anya vartate punah, by the other, he comes back again, punah. All right, so this is, one is path of light and one is path of darkness. This is the Vedic opinion of the 2 ways of leaving the body. When one passes in light, he does not come back. But when he passes in darkness, he returns. Those who are fruitive laborers and philosophical speculators from time immemorial, constantly going and coming, do not attain ultimate salvation, for they do not surrender to Krishna. You can read these notes later. I'll read a little bit what actually it is important. When a person dies is not as important as in what state of purity and spirituality it happened. Neither auspicious time, nor a million dips in the river Ganga, nor 100 pilgrimages are going to help an impure soul who does not repent, mend his way or her ways, or live righteously and selflessly. Purity in the heart, mind, and soul is the only means to attain divine love for God and protection and reach the world of God. Repentance and change in one's conduct and attitude are very important to escape from the cycle of transmigration. Karma may play an important part when and how we may die. However, the fate of our liberation is not solely left to time, fate, and physical conditions and circumstances. Krishna's intervention is also there. How should our mind be? How should be our mind? At the time of death, our mind should not be covered by ignorance like the cloudy and dark night of the darker half of the moon in the Dakshinayana. Neither should be polluted like the air in a room full of smoke. Our ignorance and attachment to worldly things like the cloud and darkness dim our souls. These should be cleared from our heart and should be filled with purest moon rays of godliness. Our heart should be as pure and cloudless as the Uttarayan day and as clear as the full moon night. At the time of death, the mind should be free from ignorance and sin and be active and bright like the burning flame. Hence, we may also understand that the description is but a metaphor for the interior situation of the soul at the moment of physical death. How wonderful is that, right? The smoke, the night, and the waning moon, all those are what? Over here it is explained. They could be descriptions. These descriptions could be just metaphors for the interior, for the soul. So it should, at the time of death, the soul should be as bright as the sun, which is the brightest at the particular time of the day, and it should be like the waning, like the waxing moon on the brighter side, and that means purity of the heart. Next verse is 8.27. Naite Shruti Partha Janan Yogi Mukhyati Kashana Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna. Somebody read the translation.
Although the devotees know these two paths, O Arjun, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. Hare Krishna.
So Naiti, Shriti, Sriti, Partha, Janan. So, O Partha, even when one knows these different paths, Janan is one knows these different paths, O Partha, Yogi Muhyati Kashana, Yogi is not bewildered. Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu, therefore, O Arjuna, you should always Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna, practice the path of yoga. And he has told us which is the highest yoga, again in 6.47. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana. So be that yogi who's always intimately united with me in yoga. So that yogi is not bewildered, although he knows that there are these two paths towards, after death where the soul can tread on, but he is not bewildered. Who is not that yogi is not bewildered? One who is the most intimately united with me. So for that particular person who's practicing bhakti yoga, one makes the most tangible advancement and rapidly goes back to the spiritual world. Prabhupada says, what should be the devotee's attitude? Dependent. He should not worry whether he will depart by arrangement or by accident. Yoga Yukta, he should be firmly established in Krishna consciousness and chant Hare Krishna. One who is firm and constantly one whose firm is constantly engaged in Krishna consciousness. Formula is Yukta Vairagya, given by Rupa Goswami. And this is the definition. One should not be attached to sense objects. Anasaktasya Vishayan Yathartham Upayunjataha. Objects should accept sense enjoyment as much as required and no more. If one wishes to enjoy the senses more than required, he becomes attached to family life, which means there's bondage. And such people, again, when they leave the body, they come back. Being unattached in material affairs, doing all activities in Krishna consciousness. A devotee of the Supreme Lord should not worry whether he will depart by arrangement or by accident. The devotee should be firmly established in Krishna consciousness and chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Best way to be absorbed in Krishna consciousness, to be always dovetailed in Krishna's or Lord's service. Result will make one's path to the spiritual kingdom safe, certain, and direct. Devotee is not bewildered. Baldev Vidyabhushan says he does not believe in the necessity of karma yoga, which leads to the path of smoke. Prabhupada says because he knows that his passage to the Supreme Abode is guaranteed by devotional service. All right. We see the life of Prahlad Maharaj. So much commotion, right? But he was always firmly fixed. He was never bewildered. Whether he will leave his body by all these atrocities done by his father, he might just leave his body, but he was never worried. He was always fixed in his Krishna consciousness. The last verse of this chapter, Vedeshu Yagneshu Tapasu Chaiva Daneshu Yat Punya Phalam Pratishtam Atyeti Tat Sarvamidam Viditva Yogi Param Sthanam Upaiti Chadyam. Beautiful verse. Somebody can read the translation.
A person who accepts the path of devotion service is not bereft of the results derived from the studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all this. At the end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. I know this shloka by heart, Mataji.
Amazing.
It is very
Thank you.
important shloka.
Yes.
Atyeti sarva vidam viditva. He exceeds everything. Topmost this position.
Yes, perfect. Amazing, Prabhu. So Vedeshu, Yagneshu, Tapasu, Chaiva. So Vedeshu, by the study of the Vedas, by one does various, or if by one doing various yagnas, which is Yagneshu, Tapasu, which is one does austerities. So by studying the Vedas, doing yagnas, or by performing austerities, Daneshu, one can do charity. And then Yat Punya Phalam Pratishtam, all this will give you pious results of Punya Phala. Atyeti Tat. But more than that, super exceeding that or surpassing all of that, Sarvam Idam Viditva, one who passes those and knowing that, in addition, what will happen for a devotee, Yogi Param Sthanam Upaiti Chadyam, he will attain the Param Sthana. So a devotee will attain all of that, which is attained by the Karma Yogis, the Jnana Yogis, and Ashtanga Yogis. A devotee, not by following those paths, but by following Bhakti Yoga, will attain the result of all of those paths. Plus, he will also attain the Supreme Abode. Beautiful verse. So in this way, this chapter, Krishna, what is he doing? He shifts Arjun's focus decisively from acting in this world to acting for a goal far beyond this world. Okay, so this is in the purport and Prabhupada, how he explains in Brahmacharya from age 1 to 25, approximately is a bachelor student phase of life, and then Grihastha life, 26, which in the Brahmacharya from 1 to 25, that age where he properly pursues or understands the Brahmacharya ways of living life, then he is very nicely he can seem into Grihastha life from 26 to 50 years, which is married life phase, and duties of maintaining a household. After that, 51 to 75, approximately Vanaprastha, retirement phase, and handing over responsibilities to next generation. 76 years onwards, phases of giving up material desires and prejudices, wandering ascetic stage. So purpose is gradual elevation to perfectional stage. Okay. This is showing how in Brahmacharya one studies the Vedas and the spiritual master, many austerities and penances, trained in celibacy and menial services, beg alms, take food only under master's order. If the master says you should fast today, the Brahmachari fasts. Then enters into Grihastha, where he does sacrifices, charity according to time, place, and person. In Vanaprastha, there is tapasya. And then there is sannyas, where is giving up of all material desires. So all these studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities, path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from all of these. This idam viditva implies one should understand the instructions of Krishna very scrutinizingly. Why fortune, result of all such activities, are automatically achieved by simply performing Krishna consciousness or being in Krishna consciousness. Great fortune to understand middle 6 chapters in the association of devotees, and how not academic scholarship or mental speculation, and how by hearing in association of devotees. And which chapters? Those in Bhagavad Gita, chapters 7 and 8. So this is devotional service, how it is not bereft of the results derived from other spiritual activities. Okay. And these are the 8 stages of bhakti, where starting from Adav Shraddha, then Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan, Kriya, Anatta, Nivritti, then Nishta, Ruchi, then Asakti, and then Bhav, and then Prem. So this is what a devotee achieves, much, much more than what other paths are giving. Srila Prabhupada says, perfection through Vana Ashrama, Brahmachari life. Okay, we went through all of this. You can see the notes later if you want. And now he explains also Shraddha and Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anatta, Nivritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, and then Prem. All right. So to summarize, these are the different ways of leaving the body and destinations. So path of karma kandis, in the darkness, night, during smoke, fortnight of waning moon, or 6 months when the sun passes to south, reaches the moon, and again comes back. So this is karma kandis. Okay. Attain the heavenly planets and then return to earth. Path of the yogis, which is Ashtanga yogis and Gyanis, in light, influence of fiery god, auspicious moment of day, fortnight of waxing moon, or 6 months when the sun travels to north. Path of unalloyed devotees, at any time a pure devotee can leave the body. Devotees don't worry about proper time to leave the body, but leave everything in Krishna's hands and focuses on fixing Krishna, on fixing consciousness and devotion. This is because Krishna takes care and gives protection. Devotional service gives result of all other practices. Again, this is another summary. And what do they attain? The yogis and the Gyanis attain Brahmajyoti. Karmis, they attain heavenly planets and then return to earth. and devotees attain Krishna Lok or Vrindavan or Golok Vrindavan. Chapters 6 through 12 are the essence of the Gita. If one is fortunate to understand the Gita, especially these middle 6 chapters in the association of devotees, then his life at once becomes glorified beyond all penances, sacrifices, charities, speculations, etc. The beauty of Krishna consciousness is that by one stroke, by engaging in devotional service, one can surpass all the rituals of the different orders of life. Just like $1 million contains all the other notes, similarly, Bhakti Yoga contains the result of all the other paths. And this is a beautiful verse which we've done before from the Bhagavatam. Raghu Ganaita tapasanayati nache jaya nirvapanad grihatva na chandasanaiva jalagni surye vinamahatpada rajobhishekam. Let's have somebody read the translation. Shambhurao Prabhu, would you like to?
Yes, Mataji. My dear King Rahuguna, unless one has the opportunity to smear his entire body with the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees, one cannot realize the absolute truth. One cannot realize the absolute truth simply by observing celibacy, that is brahmacharya, strictly following the rules and regulations of householder's life. Leaving home as a vanaprastha, accepting sannyasa, or undergoing severe penances in winter by keeping oneself submerged in water or surrounding oneself in summer by fire and the scorching heat of the sun. There are many other processes to understand the absolute truth, but the absolute truth is only revealed to one who has attained the mercy of a great devotee. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So this verse also from the Bhagavatam just summarizes what we did today in our class, how for a devotee, everything is auspicious, right? And he has attained the result of all other processes without even getting into them. It's very profound, right? And here we see example of Devahuti, who's married to Kardama Muni. She herself did not perform directly service, Krishna consciousness directly, but because she was serving her husband who was following perfectly, she also attained the result of bhakti. So even if a person is having full faith and shraddha towards the devotee and serving the devotee perfectly, also attains the result that is achieved by a bhakti yogi. That ends our slideshow over here and ends our chapter. Any questions or comments or reflections?
I have one, Mataji.
Yes.
So it's regarding Prahlad Maharaj. So I'm a little confused, right? Like, so Kayadu was pregnant already before Hiranyakashipu went to do his penance, right? So he did it for 10,000 years, right? When he finally got the boon from Brahma, it was 10,000 years that he had to do the penance for. But Kayadu was already pregnant even before he started the penance. Then how is Prahlad Maharaj just 5 years old?
5 years old, yeah. I always had that question. My question also has not been answered. We can
Okay.
ask some, yeah. What I heard was, I was also very intrigued that 10,000 years somebody can go do penances, but in that age you could do. If somebody has an answer for this, please go ahead, and I don't have the answer. How come he did for 10,000
Well,
years, but Prahlad?
I think Mataji, I have this answer.
Okay.
This was the same question which was actually I actually asked one of the preachers in ISKCON Dwarka,
Okay. Tell
and he
us the
said
answer.
that he told us that Kayadu Mata was able to sustain her like pregnancy for 10,000 years. So after Hiranyakashipu who came back, she actually delivered Prahlad Maharaj. So for
After he
10,000
came
years,
back.
Narad Muni was taking care of her.
Yeah. So after Hiranyakashipu came back. That time she delivered or before only?
Maybe I'm not sure about the before, but she was able to sustain her pregnancy for about 10,000 years, and Prahlad Maharaj was in her womb for about 10,000 years.
Okay.
Interesting. The way I was looking at it was like either Hiranyakashipu left that heavenly abode or realm and came to the earthly realm where the time goes at the faster pace. That's why he was able to do it for 10,000 years. Or like maybe because Kayadu was in with Narada Muni in his ashram, which may be in the heavenly abode where the time goes slowly, right? Like, or there is no constraint of time. Like, this is what I'm thinking. And then she comes back to earth. That's when, I don't know. Yeah.
So it was not about the time. This is something which
Actually, it was
I think
Sattva Yuga, right? In that era, person can live for thousands of years.
yeah.
So
So the-
I'm going with the with what Vishal Prabhu is saying, that she could sustain the pregnancy for those many years. This is what I can also fathom. But we can also ask somebody here, maybe Tukram Prabhu, we can ask him this question.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna
So-
Prabhuji, he might have the
So
answer.
this
Yes.
was the boon wanted by Kayaduji, that I should not be able to deliver. I should be able to hold Prahlad Maharaj in my womb till the time my husband comes back. So the delivery happened after her husband came back. And the
After he
place
came
where
back.
where Kayadu Mata was staying and Naradji was there. This is Narad Kund at Giriraj Parikrama.
Ooh.
So that's still the ashram. That's the Thai ashram of Naradji.
Very beautiful place.
Very beautiful place. Very nice place.
It has
Please
a
take
kund
us
also.
there, Prabhu, when we come.
Sure, Mataji, we will go. It's very beautiful.
Coincidentally, I was watching this movie today, Mahavatar Narsimha.
Amazing. Hari bol. Who all is coming for the yatra this year?
We are coming, Mataji. Shambhu Prabhu is coming. Ismail is coming. And
Amazing.
You're coming?
are you coming,
I'm
Mataji?
coming. I'm also
Very
coming. Yeah, Krishna, Radha Rani willing, if she desires, then I
Prabhu
will
is also
come.
coming.
Prabhu is
Prabhuji?
also, my Prabhu also registered, but right now it's a little 50%. He might come. Not 100. He really wants
Radha Rani will invite him, don't worry.
And your blessings, Prabhu.
That's nothing. And Prahlad Maharaj is a special devotee. Anything. Prahlad Maharaj. Actually,
Yes.
I wept by seeing that movie. Did you see the